Hey friends, welcome back to my kitchen. Today I'm restocking the basics, getting our fridge and pantry ready for another week of real nourishing food. When you're postpartum, keeping a well-stocked pantry is honestly a game changer. It means I always have the building blocks for balanced, nutrient-dense meals, even on those chaotic days when my toddler is glued to my leg. Here's what I always try to have on hand. Healthy fats like olive oil, ghee, coconut oil and butter. I also use avocado oil a lot. They're great for cooking, flavour and hormone health. Protein is really important, and pantry protein means something's always on hand. I like to have canned fish. I'm a fan of salmon and beans and bone broth in the fridge for easy protein-rich meals. Grains and starches like rolled oats, basmati rice, quinoa, and a stash of sourdough or flatbreads in the freezer. I like to have fermenting basics like coarse sea salt and glass jars because a homemade sauerkraut is a gut health powerhouse. Canned and jarred staples like coconut cream, tinned tomatoes and bone broth, which can quickly turn into soups, curries and stews. And spices and seasonings. I like to have a few good salts, whole peppercorns, turmeric, cumin, smoked paprika and cinnamon for warmth and flavour. Having these basics on hand means I can quickly pull together nourishing homemade meals without a lot of stress, which is huge when you're caring for a little one. It also helps me avoid those last minute high stress trips to the grocery shop. Plus, it's a foundation for my favourite postpartum staples. I'm not really into rigid meal planning, but this whiteboard lives in our pantry and I like to have a rough idea of what we're doing each week. It means I know what to pull out at the start of the week to have things on hand. And speaking of making life easier, my husband is slow cooking both beef short ribs and pork shoulder on the barbecue for us today. Slow cooking is a postpartum superpower. It's a hands-off way to get high quality protein and collagen-rich meats that support recovery, energy and our hormone health. This meat will stretch across multiple meals, sliders tonight, a curry later in the week and maybe some pulled pork bowls for lunch. And this is where a stock pantry really shines. With the right spices, broths and grains on hand, I can turn these proteins into a variety of meals without even overthinking it. Now it's time for dinner and the toddler is in the thick of it. We're making sliders with that slow cook short rib, a quick homemade coleslaw and some pickled onions I threw together while the meat was cooking. I'll be honest, cooking with a toddler around is chaotic, but it's worth it. A few tricks I've learned. Let them help, whether it's stirring, squishing, or just banging a spoon on the counter. They love to be involved. Set up a safe station for them, like a cutting board, a small bowl, and some pre-cut veggies or grains, like oats. Expect a mess like this. And remember, it's about the experience, not perfection. Plus, they're learning, exploring textures, and hopefully building a positive relationship with real food. And if you're anything like me, I love to be in the kitchen, and I really want my little to be around me doing the things I enjoy. For these sliders, I ended up using sourdough starter for most of the flour in here, and I left that for, I think, 3 or 4 hours. I didn't have enough time for it to bulk rise like that, so I ended up putting some yeast in as well, and they turned out amazing. I'm really happy with them. So after around 10 hours of cooking time, which is a great way to spend a Sunday if you're doing other things at home anyway, the beef short ribs are falling off the bone and the pork is ready to pull apart with a fork. This guy was a huge fan of the sliders and the coleslaw and the slow cooked meats. So it's really awesome that you can use the same food that nourish your body to nourish theirs. Next up, I'm using the rest of the cabbage that I didn't use in the coleslaw for making a quick batch of homemade sauerkraut. Fermented foods are a huge part of my postpartum recovery plan. They're full of natural probiotics, help support my digestion, and they even aid in nutrient absorption. They're all crucial when you're still rebuilding your body months or even years after giving birth. If you've never made sauerkraut, it's simpler than you think. It's just cabbage, salt, and a little bit of mussel, and it lasts for months in the fridge, which is perfect for busy weeks. Great when you want to have vegetables, but you either don't have time to cook them or you don't have anything fresh on hand. And here's one of my favorite ways to use leftovers. Quick wraps with pulled pork, tinned black beans, and frozen corn. I'll throw some taco seasoning in there as well. This is one of those easy postpartum friendly meals that comes together in minutes but still ticks all the boxes for postpartum. Protein, fiber, healthy fats. Having a few go-to combos like this and staples in the pantry makes a huge difference when you're trying to eat well without spending hours in the kitchen. Plus, my toddler loves to snack on the beans and corn while I assemble the wraps, which is a win. So that's a peek into what real life postpartum cooking looks like in my house with a toddler. A bit messy, a bit chaotic, but full of good, real food that supports my healing, energy, and hormones, and can be used to feed him as well. If you're looking for more postpartum meal ideas, including recipes and tips for cooking with a toddler, head over to my blog, mamaflow.com. I've linked the full post in the description below. And if you want to stay in the loop for more simple, nourishing recipes and real-life mum life content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for hanging out in the kitchen with me today. I'd love to know what you're cooking this week. Let me know in the comments, and I'll see you in the next one.